Hi guys, Miss Markowski here. I'm going to start you off with today's lesson. Today we're continuing with exponential functions and we're going to look at a formula called the growth and decay formula. So we already talked about what exponential growth and decay is. There's actually a formula that is applied to real life situations. So our objective is, how do we apply the exponential growth and decay formula? So the formula is not given to you on the regions, but it's usually pretty easy to memorize. Most students memorize it. It is A equals P parentheses R plus or minus. That's the general formula. It depends on what type of problem we're given. R, close parentheses, raised to the T power. So A just stands for our answer. It's whatever our final value is. P, P typically stands for principal, which is why they use the letter P. When we did our simple interest, when you did your simple interest formula in 7th grade, it was I equals PRT, which is very similar to this. P always stood for principal. But in this case, we're just going to say it's the initial or the starting amount, depending on the situation. R is our rate, which is going to be given to you as a percent usually, and we always have to change a percent to a decimal when we're working with it. And then T is our time, and that's going to be in years. So let's look at one example of each quickly. So our first example is a growth example. So the formula is going to be using the plus sign because growth means it's growing or increasing. So we're going to use plus for growth. When you read the question, you have to look for what's going to tell you that it's a growth problem. They're not going to tell you that. You need to be able to figure it out. So a lot of the times the growth formula will have to do with banking and investing money. If you're investing money, you're hoping to earn money at a certain interest rate. So that's our key word here. That means growth. Okay, so then we're going to break down, and as you can see, I highlighted the 3 pieces of information we need. So the bank is advertising a rate of 5% interest. $2,000 is being invested in the account, and we want to find the amount of money in the account after 10 years. So our rate is 5%. We need to turn it to a decimal. To make it a decimal, we move it twice to the left. 2,000 is our P because that's our starting amount, and 10 years is our T. So all we're going to do is substitute it into the formula as I did right here. 2,000 parentheses 1 plus 0.05 close raised to the 10th power. Now we go to our calculator and we just plug that in as is. 2,000 open 1 plus 0.05 close. Oops, I put a little extra here. Close raised to the 10th power. Enter. Since this is money, we're going to round it to the nearest hundredths. Unless they tell you, you're always going to round money to hundredth spot. So this 8 is going to go up to a 9. So our answer is, after 10 years, you will have $3,257.79 in your account. Okay, let's look at a decay problem. Decay, in this case, the word that indicates it's a decay problem is the word decreasing, because decay means to break down or to get smaller. So we are going to use the minus sign this time. So I highlighted the information again, but if you see, I highlighted an extra piece of information. We still have our rate, 2.5%. We have our initial amount. It's telling you about the population of a town decreasing. So they're saying the population starts at 28,000 in the year 2000. We want to find the population in 2015. So you have to realize that that is a difference of 15 years for our time. So when we plug it into the formula, we are using 15 for T. Remember to move the decimal twice to the left when you change your percent to a decimal. And this is how we plug it in. Now we're going to go right to our calculator, and we are going to round this one to the nearest whole number since we're talking about population. So we're going to, which is people. So we're just going to round this one to the nearest whole number. And it's going to give us this number here. So this 5 tells this 2 to go up to a 3 if we're rounding it to the nearest whole number, which gives us this number. So that means after 15 years, the population would be at approximately 19,153. And that's it. So now you're going to practice on your own. Thank you for listening.